Hey, good morning everyone. This is TC, your guiding chariot. Welcome to your daily reading for May 16th. Ooh, sorry, I was kind of feeling out of it this morning, so thank you for being patient for me to film this. We have a lot of aspects to kind of bang through. Most of them I feel, I was gonna say minor, but it's not that they're minor. They all kind of like weave together, but I feel like it's bringing about a lot of shift and change internally especially. But we have the moon in a sextile to Jupiter. That just brings pleasant dispositions, good partnership. It's easy to connect and get along with people. Jupiter is always trying to bring us blessings and expand us and get us out into the world. So that one's super helpful. We then have the moon in a square to Pluto, which can be disruptive for sure. But it definitely brings about a lot of kind of mood swings and probably some sudden mood swings, but if you can kind of lean into them, they bring growth and expansion and change. We have the moon in a trine to Mars. This is great just to give us that ambition, that get up and go, feeling the energy to kind of push through. I'm definitely leaning on that a lot right now. Biggest aspect I want to talk about, we have Mercury in a trine to Saturn. Where this is going to be really good is anywhere where we need to really use a lot of mental focus, whether this is study, whether this is like having to do a lot of paperwork, anything mental, definitely going to be a great time to kind of just put your nose to the grindstone and bang some work out. The key here is that you want to be really detail oriented, and that's because of this Saturn influence. Like if you can kind of be very mindful and take note of every little detail that you're working on, that will bring success and minimize mistakes. But very, very focused, especially studying. So if anyone is studying something, preparing for some type of exam or certification, this aspect is going to be super, super helpful. And then we have two lunar oppositions. The moon is in an opposition to Venus, and it is also in an opposition to Uranus. This is kind of an interesting thing because, you know, Venus usually tries to bring harmony, love, you know, it's very social. And then Uranus is always trying to shift and break down barriers and do things differently. So for those two energies to be at an opposition to the moon, it's almost like we're in this point where we're trying to find harmony in this new situation, in some new version of ourselves, but we just kind of don't know how to get there yet. You know, it's like we see it on the other side of the table, but we can't relate to it just yet. That's where this square with Pluto is going to be super helpful. So it's almost like the sextile with Jupiter is like, okay, so I'm glad you can see it over there. Let's get you over there. I'm going to start throwing things your way to help you get closer. And then Pluto's like, okay, but we need to change some things before you can get there, so you're ready for it. So let's put you through some challenges to like get you to you know, be a little different, think a little different, or you know, get you strong enough to handle what's waiting for you on the other side. And then Mars is like, okay, they're throwing a lot of shit at you, that's okay, we're gonna go for it, we're gonna keep moving forward, this is gonna be a thing, we're gonna make it. You know, so all these, that's why I said like minor in a sense that each aspect individually is kind of just doing its own little thing and just doing what it does best. When you put them all together, it's really speaking to how the universe is trying to really get us ready for next, really move us on to like the next level, get us to the next plane of existence, which is a great thing. I ain't mad at it at all. So it's just kind of everything kind of coming together, so to speak. All right, and I have the Messenger Oracle here. This is another that doesn't always like to be shuffled. I might have to cut this one. Oh, as I say that, thank you. Hear the Ancient Ones is our prompt. I love this. So there's been a lot of talk recently in the past couple readings and some of the love readings really about divine intervention and kind of listening to a higher power. This Hear the Ancient Ones could even be about our planets. The astrology right now going on. Yep. Protect the wild and green. So this is definitely a card about kind of preserving nature. I think that's all we're going to take. I think that's good. And kind of realizing how significant and special it is, but I'm kind of branching away from the traditional meaning of this particular oracle card and really connecting it to here the ancient ones, and that we're really connecting to, you know, our natural physical environment around us. And I was going to say this is literally what I was saying about the planets, how they're trying to guide and move us forward. But for some reason in my head, like I just thought of a nature walk. So for some of you, you may be needing to listen to nature spirits. Get outside, walk around, be in nature, and be present. That's a big difference too. You need to be present in nature. It's not like, well, I'm going to go outside and listen to my music. No, because if you're listening to your music, you're not listening to the ancient ones, right? So to be present and mindful about it. So you could still totally go for a walk, like go ahead and walk your dog outside, but you know, don't distract yourself with anything else. Like really be there to be a part of nature and experience. Take it in. How does it feel? What do you see? Definitely, what do you hear? You know, maybe meditate or let your mind kind of wander while you're out there and see what comes to you. All right. Oh, I didn't even talk about our rune, did I? All right. So our rune for today, we got Hagalaz, the rune of disruptions. So we were literally just talking about that with Pluto, especially with Uranus. So this rune can speak to minor setbacks, shifts, unexpected changes, but they're only temporary. You know, it's kind of like a one step back to eventually take 2 steps forward. So don't be surprised if some odd little, you know, shift or change in plans happens today. Most likely it'll be completely unexpected, but don't fret, don't panic, don't worry about it. Ooh, bottom of the deck right now, Queen of Cups. Might be feeling a little reserved right now, might be holding back. You know, keeping your cards very close to your chest in a way. Hierophant card, so it is the card of Taurus for sure, but it is a card of learning as well. And also learning, where the High Priestess is about intuitive learning, this is learning from tradition. It is definitely a spiritual card, but it's external. So we're learning from those who have come before us. We're learning from, you know, standards that have lasted for centuries. But there's, oh, stop it. So definitely major learning coming through. We also have the Magician, so taking control of your destiny, being a part of it. Having the power to shift circumstances and achieve goals. Ace of Cups. So this is a love card, but it's also about what nourishes your soul. What do you truly need for your happiness, for your well-being? This is what the Magician is using as her tool. 7 of Swords. So it could be some mischief around you. Could be, you know, and as I say that, I don't necessarily think, it doesn't feel malicious, where normally the 7 of Swords is, like someone's trying to get away with something, you know, they're holding an ace up their sleeve, so to speak. But I feel like this 7 of Swords is more speaking to almost like distractions, almost like you're kind of heading in one direction, but there's these things that keep popping up that are almost trying to coax you in a different direction. They're almost trying to lead you down a different path. And I don't necessarily see it as malicious. Like the person trying to distract you isn't necessarily trying to get you off your path. They're just kind of presenting another option. And it may be an option that has more gain for them than it has for you. You know, like, oh, I really need a partner down this road. Oh, look, here you are. I get along with you. You should come with me. So I don't feel like they're trying to sway you. They're just trying to gain advantage. But that comes at a cost for you. Look at that. Ace of Swords. Holding on to your truth. Where is it you are meant to be? What is it you are meant to be doing? Oh, look at that. King of Cups. I already showed you bottom of the deck. Queen of Cups. I'm all about this. So this is funny. So I feel like I'm still kind of talking to my feminines out there, my divine feminines. Because you're at the bottom of the deck, because obviously this is all about you. But it's almost like you guys have this Ace of Cups. You have your own Ace of Cups, remember. It's almost like you're on this path heading towards your King of Cups. Whether he's ready or not, maybe he's still working on some things, you know, until you get there. So he could be doing his own thing. But I feel like the path you're on is leading you towards your King of Cups. Someone who can partner with you, someone who is going to be a perfect match for you. And this Seven of Swords is almost like it's swaying you to go in another direction. And again, this doesn't feel malicious, at least not towards you. It just feels like, you know, there's an opportunity to go elsewhere, but that elsewhere is going to take you somewhere different. Does that make sense? So, kind of way. And then for some of you, you're going to have to kind of feel it out. Some of you, this may even be reversed. This may be the other way around. This Seven of Swords may be the disruption we talked about with Hagalaz. That could be that shift that puts you on a path towards this King of Cups. But it's going to depend on this moment. And I think it's going to depend really how you feel about it. Like if an opportunity comes and it feels right and you're excited about it, and this is like, oh my God, I've been waiting for a moment like this, or something related to this, I think you'll be in that group where it's like, oh yeah, this is where I want to go, because you're following your truth, right? But if this moment comes up and there's really nothing in it for you, like it's an opportunity, you're like, I don't really like that, doesn't sound beneficial, doesn't sound like the place for me, I don't understand why I'd want to do that. Like if there's no benefit in it for you, if it's not aligned with your truth, if it doesn't make you happy. Look how it's sandwiched right between these two aces, right? So the core decision is, does it align? Does it fit your passions, and does it fit your purpose? If it sits in the middle of those two things in a great positive way, great. By all means, I support your decision. But if you have to weigh this against these two aces and it doesn't quite add up, that's going to be a distraction. And again, I don't feel it as malicious. It just feels like a distraction. It's just another option you could go. Again, if it doesn't align with this, not the option for you. It's distracting you from this King of Cups moment. All right? Whether this is you elevating from the Queen to the King, or this is a divine counterpart coming in for my feminines out there. So definitely something to consider. And again, with all of our aspects, it talked about, you know, mental processing. Mostly it's usually paperwork and studying. But you may have to be weighing some options and really strategizing and planning out, you know, your next steps for a little bit. Lean on that aspect. Let Mercury and Saturn help you with that. All right? You know, and also you have the Hierophant, which is learning from spiritual masters. You know, you got this guy here, the ancient ones. So definitely got some reflection to do if this is really relating. And really, the choice is in your hands, so don't feel like you don't have the power, because here you are at the Magician. You are making the decision. You know, these cards are just, they're showing you how to make the right decision, the one that's most beneficial to you. All right, my loves, I am going to dash and get ready for work. Thank you again for being patient. I'm literally going to like upload this and jet out of here. But wishing you the best. Take care as always. Thank you for hanging on and waiting for this video, and thank you for supporting my channel. As always, I love hearing from you guys. If you have anything to share, hit me up in the comments. You can DM me on Instagram at The Guiding Chariot. And if you're going to book a private session with me, all that info will be in the description box. Take care, everyone. Love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.